Hi guys, and welcome back to Beauty Fortified, and today I'm doing a look using blue eyeshadow. Now this look was inspired by one of the new Dior palettes that's out. It's one of their quintets, and I thought, well, if Dior is bringing blue back, then it can't be a bad thing. So I was rustling around in my makeup collection and I found a beautiful drugstore palette, so I thought I would do a look using that. So if you want to see how I achieved this look, keep on watching. I've prepped my skin, I've done my foundation. Today I'm using the Revlon Color Stay Life Proof Stick. I hauled this out of my stash recently and I've been using it quite a bit and really enjoying it. I've powdered down with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless for normal combination skin, and I've also contoured with my NYX contour stick in Universal, and I've just done a video on contour and I will link that above if you're interested. And then the palette that I'm using today is one that came out last year, and it's one of the e.l.f. bite-size palettes, and this one is in Carnival Candy. I've really enjoyed these quads, I must say, and love this one. I've swatched the colors for you. So the blue is a kind of metallic blue. It's a really rich shade. Then you've got a kind of mustardy transition shade, and then you've got a rust color. And they're really beautiful shadows. And then of course there is a highlight in the quad as well for highlighting just underneath the brow bone. So that is a matte. I'm going to start off on the mobile lid by applying some of the blue. Now this blue is a little bit tricky to apply, I think, because of the metallic parts in it, and it's quite chunky, if I can describe it like that. So taking a flat eyeshadow brush, I'm just going to tap it into the shadow, and then I'm going to apply it to my mobile lid. And I'm going to apply in sort of patting motions initially, just to get the color onto the lid. And it really doesn't translate as intensely in the pan as it does onto the lid, which I think is rather nice, because it does just give you a slightly lighter color than the navy color that it looks in the pan. I'm just going to pop that all over the mobile lid. There does seem to be a tiny bit of fallout with the blue, so you just need to be aware of that, and you might need to clean up afterwards. So metallics often give you a little bit of fallout, but it's nothing serious. And then I'm going to be going into the crease and onto the upper lid with this kind of mustardy transition shade. And it really looks quite rich and beautiful. So I'm going to start by putting just a little bit of that on. I'm taking a fluffy crease brush. I'm going to dab it into the shadow and just tap off the excess. And I'm going to start applying just onto the upper lid. I do have hooded lids, so I apply onto the upper lid, looking straight at the mirror, just to give that part of the eye a little bit of definition. And this is a lovely shade. It really, if you have any green in your eyes, it will bring out the green, it will bring out the brown. It's just really lovely. And it's quite a smooth shadow as well. I have found that with some of these e.l.f. palettes, one or two of the shadows can be a bit patchy, but this one seems to be blending really beautifully. So now that I've laid that down, I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush, and we're just going to blend out the edges, just to make sure that they blend away to nothing and that there are no harsh lines. Then I'm going to go onto the lower lid, and I'm going to take that mustardy color and a pencil brush, and I'm just going to use that mustard to lightly line the lower lid, just to give a hint of color on the lower lid. And then I'm going to add a little bit more definition to the lower lid, and I'm going to be going in with a pencil, and this one is in MAC Teddy, and I really love this because it's a kind of bronzy shade. So I'm just using the edge of the tip just to define the lower lid quite softly. Then going back onto the mobile lid, I'm going to put a little bit of this rust shade just on the outer corner of the lid. It's a really beautiful shade, and I think just to give the outer corner a little hint of definition, I'm going to pop a little bit of that on. So I'm going in with another flat eyeshadow brush, just dipping it in. This is very pigmented, this rust. I am going to tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to put a little bit onto the outer corner. Just build it up slightly. And then with that rust shade, I'm just going to put a tiny bit on the upper lid over here, just above the crease, and it's going to be the tiniest amount. So I'm using my same fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of that rust on, and then I'm just going to dot it onto my upper lid just to give a bit of color, and then I am going to blend that out. I prefer to dot my shadow because my lids are hooded and they are a little bit wobbly. They're not as taut as they once were, so I find that this is the best technique to apply a little bit of shadow on the outer corners, just to pat it on until I'm happy with the color. And then I take a big fluffy blending brush again, and I'm going to diffuse that in round circular motions. I'm happy with that, and now I'm going to highlight my brow bone. I'm going to take a little bit of that lightest color, and I'm just going to pop it onto a square shaped brush, tap off the excess, and I'm just lightly going to tap it underneath the brow bone. This is a really lovely creamy shade, just to highlight that area a little bit. And then I'm going to take some on my pinky finger, and I'm just going to pop it into the corner of my eyes. So that's the eyes done, and now I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara, and I'm going to pop on 2 coats of that. So that's the mascara done. I'm just going to blend a little bit of powder. This is the powder that I used all over my face. It's just a setting powder. I'm going to take a little bit of that on my eyeshadow blending brush, and I'm just going to blend this color out slightly. It's just a little bit too bright. And now for the cheeks, today I'm going in with my Wet n Wild blush in Nudist Story, and it's a lovely light peach, and it's just got a tiny hint of shimmer, and I'm using a small blush brush for this. I'm really enjoying this blush brush because it just gives you a little bit more precision as opposed to a big fluffy brush. And this does have the faintest hint of shimmer. I can see it under the lights, but it's really not obnoxious at all. It's the kind of shimmer that you want if you have mature skin with a lot of enlarged pores like I do, because it's not going to exacerbate your pores at all. And that's the cheeks done. And then for lips, today I'm going in with my Failsafe Clarins lip liner in Nude Rose. And then to top it off, today I'm using a lip balm, and this is a Burt's Bees Shimmer Lip Balm, and it's in the color Fig. So guys, that is the finished look, and just something a little bit different. Who says that mature women can't wear blue eyeshadow? The blue in the palette is quite difficult to work with, and there is quite a bit of fallout. So I found 2 alternatives for you. The first one is from the Wet n Wild palette Comfort Zone, and it's the duochromy bluey brown shade. And this shade is absolutely gorgeous. Another alternative is a MAC shade in the color Moonflower. So if you don't have the Carnival Candy palette, you can invest in a separate blue eyeshadow or the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, and then you can pair it up with a neutral crease shade. Will work just as well. So guys, let me know your thoughts on blue eyeshadow. Do you wear blue eyeshadow, and which one in particular is your favorite? I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.